Welcome to the Infowars Nightly News. I'm David Knight. It's Thursday, July 31st, 2014, and here are our top stories.
Tonight, how a health emergency could turn governors into dictators. Then, conservatives and the GOP battle over immigration. And the CIA is sorry they got caught spying on the Senate. That's next on the Infowars Nightly News.
People doing stuff like trying to have privacy or using voice over IP or communicating through PC games. Man.
Well, this headline from the Daily Caller says it all. Conservatives battle GOP leaders. Isn't that the case? Finally, conservatives are going to realize that the GOP doesn't really represent them when it comes to individual liberty, when it comes to limited government, especially when it comes to opposing the entitlement state. Now, this is Boehner, who is trying to push this through, even though the article points out Obama's support has dived down to only 18%, and 57% oppose him. Where do you want to be if you're a politician and you want to get elected? Do you want to be standing with the 18% or do you want to be with the 82%? Now, we see some comments from some conservative leaders saying things like, this is equivalent to catching your opposition's Hail Mary pass and running it into the end zone. We can't understand why they can't do anything but fail in politics. I don't think that's the case. I don't think they're worried about your votes because they've got the support of the Chamber of Commerce, of the banks, of the people who want NAFTA. That's what they supported along with the Democrats. They're pushing through NAFTA. They're pushing through this globalism. They don't really care what you want. That's why they're standing with the 18%. Now, Senator Sessions had a great summary of this. He said the leader's immigration bill is, quote, a plan for expedited asylum, not expedited removal of the hundreds of thousands of people that have come in just recently. To underscore this, there's also been a poll that has come out by the Tea Party Patriots. And listen to the breakdown on this. What is the most important issue to Tea Party Patriots? According to this poll, 34% want the flow of illegals stopped, compared to 24% who think that Obama's executive orders are overreaching, 23% who are opposed to Obamacare, 7% who are opposed to the IRS targeting politics and political enemies, and only 3% concerned about the Benghazi situation. 79% said that they're coming because they can be citizens. That's talking about the illegal aliens. That's what's going on. It's really about the subsidies. It's really about the massive expansion of the entitlement state, far beyond what we can afford, even if we weren't already $17 trillion in debt. Now, look at this story from the New American. Some illegal immigrant foster children are 22 years old. That's right. Now, as you may know, many of the children who have come across into Texas have been put into foster homes. But you may be surprised to learn that a lot of these quote-unquote children are 22 years old. Now, a spokeswoman for the Texas Catholic Charity said most of our children are 15 to 17 years old, but some stay in our program until they are 22 years old. Now, they get paid $40 per day per person, which means that in some foster homes, they can take up to 6 children. That means that they could get $7,400 per month. That's coming from taxpayers. Actually, that's going to be coming from your children in terms of debt because we're going into debt more every year. Now, that's in addition, the article points out, to other taxpayer subsidized activities like education, healthcare, and transportation. All of that is on top of that. Now, you may be aware of the fact that the IRS will give you, under some conditions, a child care credit. But they limit that for your family with many conditions. They also limit it to only 12 years of age. But of course, if it's an illegal child, you can get it for up to the age of 22. It may be no surprise to you that our government is not concerned about controlling the borders. And after the news, we're going to have a special report with a startling admission from the Border Patrol. But although they're not interested in controlling the border, controlling who's coming in, controlling what's coming in, controlling it to make sure that we don't get a pandemic coming across the border, if we do get disease and pandemic coming across the border, like we see drug dealers coming across the border, they have some plans to control the U.S. population. Look at this article from Paul Joseph Watson on Infowars today. The feds would exercise draconian emergency powers if something like Ebola hits the United States. Federal health authorities could exercise authoritarian powers to control an Ebola outbreak if the deadly disease hits the U.S. under the Model State Emergency Health Powers Act. Now, that's legislation that was passed in the wake of 9/11. Even at the time, it attracted controversy for its draconian scope, and that was in the aftermath of the hysteria and the panic after 9/11. Now, he says in the article that when asked about whether or not Ebola would be coming to the United States, CNN's chief medical correspondent, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, said it's going to happen at some point. So what are they going to do? Well, with this law, the American Associations of Physicians and Surgeons, as well as many conservative groups like Heritage Foundation and Phyllis Schlafly, have said that the legislation could turn governors into dictators in an unprecedented assault on the constitutional rights of the American people. And if you look at some of the things that have been enumerated in this, and there's so many things, it is truly martial law. They say it could force persons to be vaccinated, treated, or quarantined, of course, preempt existing state laws, rules, regulations, including those relating to privacy. Well, they've already gone after our privacy, our medical privacy as well. They said also, though, and this is key, they could go after property rights. They could ration firearms, food, fuel, alcoholic beverages, among any other commodities. In other words, full-out martial law. And, of course, many of the things that you see here that were put in 2001 are going to be a part of Obamacare and are a part of Obamacare in terms of violating our privacy. Stay with us. Right after the break, we're going to have some international news updates as well as updates on the surveillance and security state. We'll be right back.
Alex Jones here to tell you about how you can help spread liberty worldwide while also enjoying what I have found to be the best tasting 100% organic coffee on the planet. For more than a decade, my favorite coffee has come from the high mountains of southern Mexico, where the Chiapas farmers grow their unique shade-grown Arabica beans. We have now managed to secure these sought-after beans in a highly customized blend. Discover and try a bag of the Patriot Blend 100% organic coffee at InfoWarsLife.com. This coffee gives you a long, smooth pick-me-up for hours without the headaches and heartburn that so many other coffees give me personally. Hands down, this is my favorite coffee, and it's taken us years to secure connections directly to the Chiapas Mexican farmers. Drop by the site today, order a bag or two, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Available in original or with our immune support infusion blend. You will be supporting a free press, all the while enjoying a truly great tasting cup of my favorite coffee. Available at InfoWarsLife.com.